This is what I'm talking about, girlfriend. You're right. I finally found peace in myself that I don't care. But I refuse to comment on their weight or hair or how they care for themselves, as they need to do them. You have just found probably the most incredible gift of your lifetime. And I know you know that, and that is peace, inner peace. I'm convinced that when we are at peace on the inside, we are so less likely to spew out negativity to try to bring others down. It is almost always an inside job, and it has nothing to do with the person that's getting spewed at. It has everything to do with all the angst and the pain and the unhealed stuff that's going on with them. Thank you for sharing your story. You mentioned that you were shamed when you gained weight. You were shamed when you lost the weight, that you just can't win. I agree that we need to allow people to do them, do what makes you feel happy. I'm also a proponent. I believe there's always something kind you can say. You can be authentic. There is always something kind to say. But if you can't find something kind to say, don't say anything at all. Oftentimes, I know it's this competition, this competitive thing with women, but what we need to realize, women, is that there is enough to go around. There is enough sparkle to go around. Whether it's someone commenting about your weight or how you look or your car or your job or your boyfriend or your fabulous, whatever it is, there is more than enough. There's more than enough to go around. And I really believe oftentimes these comments come from, like I said, an inner jealousy, someone who's unhappy on the inside. But I also suspect, and I say this because I have felt these feelings before. I know, because I work on this every day. I've had those feelings if something comes up and you're feeling a little jealous. You see someone that has something or like, oh, I want that. And then I dissected that because that happened the other day to me. And I thought, Vanessa, that's not nice. Vanessa, that's not nice. You said, be proud, be joyful for this person. There's enough to go around. There is enough to go around. And honestly, for me, it was coming from lack. Coming from lack, and I realized there is more than enough. There's more than enough to go around for all of us. So I do believe that a lot of this negativity comes from that. The desire, the jealousy, the I don't have that, you have it, I want that. And if we would just realize that the more like attracts like attracts like, so that the more we celebrate women, celebrate men, celebrate anyone, when, in the capacity that when it shows up, we do that with love and with grace. The universe hears that. And this isn't some hokey dokey thing. This is really, you start showing up with love and supporting them. The universe says yes, and it comes your way too. And that's in every aspect of life, whether it is from, getting someone a compliment to someone maybe got a job that you'd really like to have. You're sending support, and more goodness will come your way. That is how it works. And women, we need to know that. We need to remember that. We have to stop thinking that because Susie over here is thinner than me or prettier than me or has the better husband or whatever that is, that it makes us less than. It doesn't make us less than. We all have our sparkle, our unique sparkle. And it may not be, it may not even be, a physical attribute. It could be just an incredible character. By the way, I believe the most beautiful humans in the world are beautiful because of this, not some outside thing, not thin enough, too thin or just the right size or pretty no. It's about the prettiness on the inside. That is where real beauty lies. Realize what the message is. The message is this: when we stop criticizing others and wanting and wishing and the jealousy and the desire that really is behind much of that negative cattiness, and we start focusing on who we are, what are our gifts, what can we offer to the world, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when you become so beautiful in your own unique way. Let's be those kind of women, those women that sparkle. And maybe you don't know what your sparkle is. Maybe you just aren't sure. Like, Vanessa, I don't know, I'm nothing special, or I don't have, no. I invite you to stop, drop, a little meditation wouldn't hurt, but pen and paper. Start writing down qualities that are your asset. I am kind. I am on time. I love to laugh. I love caring for others. I'm hilarious. Whatever those eyes are that you do, those things that we all have them, start looking at that and start nurturing those qualities. I'm telling you, that's the secret of true, ageless, timeless beauty. And if by chance you're one of those women that maybe has been on the giving end of these negative comments, maybe it's time that you take a deep breath, take a hard look on the inside, and start reevaluating a better way for you to show up. Because guess what? It's never too late to begin again. In an instant, you can change. You can change everything. How you show up, how you treat others. It matters. And you have the ability to curb that negativity immediately and start being a kind woman, a loving woman, a woman who lifts one another up. If you don't, eventually that way of being and living is going to catch up with you. And it's a really sad way to live.